Hey guys, Delphine Okobah here, and this is kind of bittersweet because Game of Thrones has finally come to an end. I can't believe the show is finally over. Like 10 years of our lives, literally, we followed this show, and I'm just glad to be alive in this time because this show has definitely made history, and I'm so excited that I was alive to see it real time unfold, if you know what I mean. It's the Delphine Okobah here, and this is the Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6 Finale Recap. Shout out to DSTV for holding it down live for us for all 6 episodes. I hear there's going to be a documentary showing next week on HBO. I don't know if it's going to be showing on DSTV, but look out for it. Yeah, so pretty exciting stuff. We have one more thing to look out for from Game of Thrones. Okay, let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the finale. Man, all the feels, man. Like mixed feelings over here. 3 separate scenes made me cry, shed a tear while watching Game of Thrones with my friends. One of them being the opening scene. We see Tyrion walking through the ashes of King's Landing, and then he walks all the way to the Red Keep, digs through the rubble and finds the corpses of his siblings, Cersei and Jaime, just laying there lifeless, and he starts to weep. That scene broke me. Although he was weeping for people I really didn't care much for. Okay, well, maybe I cared a bit for Jaime, but not for Cersei. Just watching him cry over what he has lost and just realizing that he's the only Lannister standing just really hit me hard. Like, yo, this guy, this guy is alone in this world, this cruel world, you know. And he weeps for his brother and sister. It was really, really touching. But seeing Cersei and Jaime wrapped up in each other's arms, lifeless, dead, it sort of was poetic in a way. These two have had this love relationship that sort of tanks at the end, and then Jaime runs up to her and tries to rebuild. I mean, to die in her arms, meaning that he still loved her as much as he did from the very beginning. So it was really poetic. Then we see Dany addressing the rest of her army, the Unsullied, the Dothraki, the ones who were remaining. And there seemed to be quite a lot left, you know. So Dany still had a strong army left. And she's talking about how, oh, thank you for helping me conquer this, that, and the other. But we're not done yet. We still need to liberate the rest of the world. I'm like, what is this crazy lady talking about? Apparently she still wanted to go with her armies and the dragon and burn up the entire world in the name of liberating the people. Jon is standing at a corner watching the whole thing unfold. Tyrion walks up to her and unpins his hand of the king, hand of the queen pin, and tosses it on the floor and basically resigns. And she says, you betrayed me, this, that, and the other, and then asks the Unsullied to seize him. So Tyrion is held captive. Jon goes to visit him in his cell, and they have this conversation about how Jon needs to do something, and obviously the thing that they're talking about is about killing Dany. And Jon is going on and on and on about how she's my queen, she's our queen, the normal Jon slow, Jon stupid, Jon mumu talk that we've been here throughout this season. I don't want it. She's my queen. She's our queen. He was saying all of this stuff, and Tyrion is trying to make him understand that this is the only way out. I have come to realize that I am wrong. I betrayed my best friend, Varys, because I believed in this queen who happens to be doing wrong, and we need to do something about it. So Jon leaves Tyrion and heads to see Daenerys. He goes alone, walks into the Red Keep and sees her admiring the Iron Throne. He walks up to her, they hug and they kiss. And then he's trying to explain to her, make her see reason why what she's doing is wrong. But instead, Dany is also trying to explain to him that she is right and that he needs to join her on her own side, in this evil side that she is. And at this point, it's obvious that Jon knows that he needs to do what he needs to do. And he kisses her, he hugs her, and then stabs her in the chest, stomach, whatever, in the abdomen, and she dies. As soon as she dies, we hear Drogon screaming, like he flies all the way up to the top and obviously knows that he has been untethered from his mother, you know, and starts to cry. That was the second scene that made me cry. Watching Drogon cry and watching Jon cry over his love. I mean, this is the second love he's losing. He lost Ygritte in season 5, I think, or 6, and now he's lost Dany. queen that I'm talking about all season. You know, it was really painful to watch that because he felt like, imagine stabbing the one that you love in the chest, all for the greater good. But he did it for the culture. So shout out to Jon Snow, who became Jon Fast. That was a dumb joke, but whatever. Yeah, so that was really touching. Drogon is really upset. He's pissed off. He obviously can't kill Jon because Jon is a Targaryen. So in his anger, he blows fire on the Iron Throne and melts it down. So that was pretty epic. Anyway, next scene, we see that time has passed because we see Tyrion coming out of his cell with a grown-ass beard, you know, and then he's walking towards, you know, that place where they did the first parley with Cersei and Euron and everybody, and showing them the whites. Yes, that same place. They meet for a parley, and we see a host of people, representatives of all the houses from all the 7 kingdoms. We see Sam Tarly obviously representing his father. We see Sir Davos. We see the Stark girls. We see Lysa Arryn's son. Yara Greyjoy is there. A couple of other lords. I don't remember what their names are. But yes, they have this parley, this sit down. Bran is also there. And Tyrion walks up to them with Grey Worm behind him, and they start to talk, discuss, okay, so what's the way forward? What do we do now that we have no king or queen, you know? What's the next step? Tyrion suggests that they choose their king there and then. Sam stands up and agrees and says, oh yes, why do we, the lords and ladies, have to do it alone? Why not extend this exercise to the people of the 7 kingdoms? And they all laughed. I thought that was really funny. Everybody laughed like, is this one all right? Anyway, so while they're there sitting down, thinking of what to do next, the Tully guy stands up and starts to reel out his CV. This part was really funny. He talks about how he has seen a few wars, he's done this and the other, and then Sansa just goes, uncle, please sit. You know that her cold, that her ice look she gives, the one she learned from Cersei, yes. With that small voice, she didn't need to raise her voice. She said, uncle, please sit. Yeah, it pains me in the chest for the guy, like you are not one to talk. You can't be talking when we're having all these sort of people here, you know, like you need to sit down. That was funny. So this is the part that I did not see coming. I knew that Jon was not going to sit on the Iron Throne because if we know anything about D&D, we know that they always want to stay away from all the fan theories, all the predictions, and do it their own way. And I knew that seeing as the entire story of Song of Ice is about Jon, him sitting on the throne would have been too predictable. So I didn't know who it was going to be, but this really shocked me to my core. Tyrion now suggests that Bran becomes king, and he explains why. He said that no one deserved it more than Bran the Broken because he has gone beyond the wall. He was a crippled boy who learned how to fly and has become the 3-eyed raven. He's the memory, the keeper of the secrets of the realms, you know. He broke it down and it sort of kind of made sense, you know. But I see Bran like an Ojoro king. Like, you can't betray him because he will see a vision about you, like steps ahead of you. So now I'm even more curious about if they're going to ever do a sequel, because I would like to see what happens in this new world where the 3-eyed raven is king of the 6 kingdoms. Speaking of 6 kingdoms, Tyrion talks, when Tyrion is done with his speech, people start to agree. So Sam goes aye, this person goes aye, that goes aye, everybody votes, and then it gets to Sansa, and she turns around and looks at him and she's like, oh, I love you, little brother, but I can't ask the Northmen to bend the knee again. Tens of thousands of them have fought and died, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. The North has to be an independent kingdom. And Bran nodded and said yes. So now Bran is the king of the 6 kingdoms, not the 7 kingdoms. And Sansa became queen of the North. I know that's something that had been reaching her in her blood. Like she really wanted power, and she got it. All thanks to Littlefinger, who taught her well. Whew. So Bran pardons Tyrion. Grey Worm is not having it. He's upset and he's like, this can't be, something has to be done. And then we remember that John has also been taken prisoner. So what to do with John? Apparently, the only way to solve the problem is, seeing as Grey Worm didn't want to let John go free or walk free, Bran decided to send John to the Night's Watch. I found this really, really annoying, but it kind of still makes sense. He started off there and ended up there, but it's really sad. I feel like John was the one who drew the shortest end of the stick, because his story is the wildest if you think about it. Died, resurrected, being a hero, being slow, being stupid, loved, lost loved ones, you know. And they ended up back at the Night's Watch with the wildlings and co. You know, it's really sad. Like, it's just really sad. And the end was the third scene that made me cry, watching all the Starks say their goodbyes. Oof. That was sad. Like, watching the whole thing come to an end is really sad. Like, I've been following this show for literally 10 years, since the very beginning, since the first season when it started, and I feel like I've grown with them as they have grown up on the show as well. You know, it's just really bittersweet. I know a lot of fans are dissatisfied with the way the show has ended, with the way season 8 went, but then I'm actually not mad at this finale. Like, I'm really not mad at it, honestly speaking. Yes, there are some holes, like prophecy that they didn't tie up, Arya killing or shooting Green Eyes forever. We don't know how that came about. The White Horse from episode 5, what was the point of that? So there are so many other loose ends they didn't tie, but I think I'm okay. Like, what more do we want? Like, really, everybody should just chill. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now, so that I don't start crying on screen. About the prequel, this one's going to be about the Children of the Forest. They've actually already started shooting at Belfast. Honestly, can't say that I'm excited about it, but because GRM himself is writing, I definitely will be watching. I'll keep an eye open for it. So yeah, that's that for GOT season 8 episode 6 finale. I know my mood is kind of low, demure. It's because I'm pretty sad. Like, I can't believe this show is over, you know. Something that we watched for so long. Anyway, once again, shout out to DSTV for holding it down for us live on DSTV Mnet channel 101 every Monday at 2 a.m. I'm gonna miss this show. Well, it's on to the next one. There's always something. There's football. There are other shows coming up. Olympics, Big Brother, there's stuff. We'll fill it up. We'll fill up the void, in quotes. Once again, it's the Delphine here. Do not forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and share this video. Until the next one, toodles!